let's move on to nutrition.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because this is my favourite subject.
Yeah.
I'm going to have another moan up, okay, on this. I think it's the key component that makes up your goals, apart from your mindset. Your mindset's on its own. That's the one that takes the lead. I'd relate your mindset to the person driving the car. That person driving the car will take you where you want to go.
Yeah.
It will get around obstacles. It will get over humps. It will get to your destination. That's your mind driving the car. But on the way, you need key things. You need to have a little workout or activity or keep physical. And you need your rest. Rest is so important as well.
Yeah.
And the nutrition is absolutely huge in this.
Yeah.
And I think us over 40s, if you like, who have we didn't have as much choice and as much processed food as there is now. I remember when I grew up, there was pretty much a Wimpy. I don't remember if there was a McDonald's. Maybe there was, because I remember a few birthday parties as I got older.
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald birthday parties, but Miss Wimpy was the main one. But we didn't have as much the choice now, and you don't even have to go out. You can literally sit on your phone and order what you want. You know.
Yeah.
And listen, protein powders. I don't use them. I don't think you need them. I'm going to get your thoughts on protein powders in a minute. I just think, listen, look at people get on Insta and want to look like a bodybuilder, etc. You're spending money on protein powders, right? I think where are they on the list of quality protein? They're nowhere near on my list.
No.
Lean beef, steak, right? Lean minced beef, turkey breast, chicken thighs, fish, tuna. I'd even probably put lentils before them.
Yeah.
As a good source of protein. Where does the powder come in? It is full of crap. It's absolute dog shit. You're wasting your money, and people have stopped going quality for quantity.
Yeah.
Go have less, but have quality protein, mate. Spend that money. I mean, what you spend on a protein powder now, you could get a tin of tuna each day. If you're really interested in what you look like or what your goal, you will have the determination to walk over hot coals. So all this moaning about, that didn't taste good. If you want a milkshake, go and get a proper milkshake. Do you know what I mean? If you're worried about flavour, go and have a proper milkshake. This is there for a means to an end. If you're using something for a means to an end and your determination is there, you would drink it or eat it no matter what it tasted.
Yeah.
You know, we've got into a weird state now. Go and ask the guys who used to train 50 years ago what they used to have. Egg white.
Yeah.
You know, raw eggs and that. They didn't have protein powders to eat.
No.
But the determination was there. They wanted to look and feel a certain way so bad that they would eat whatever they needed to eat. And I think we've moved away from that now.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I know Peter over here is a man that will just smash 10 eggs. He used to do that back in the day. I don't think you do it anymore. I don't know. But this guy is an animal. He'll eat anything.
If you want a good post-workout shake, a can of tuna mixed with pineapple juice, bosh, there you go.
It's just ridiculous.
Simple sugars, carbs, and a natural protein.
Right, I'm gonna be. And I know there's probably, if anyone's listening here, going, these guys, what the fuck? You need to hit your protein. You got to hit your protein goal. You need 2 grams, 1 gram or 2 grams per kilogram.
That's come from a bodybuilding world.
Yeah, per kilogram of.
That's come from bodybuilding,
body
not
weight.
general fitness.
I don't believe it. I don't believe in any of that. Right. I mean, I'm fairly strong. I would say like. I'm probably about 80, 85, 86 kilos now, but at 80 kilos, something like 80 kilos, I've always been able to bench 100 kilos, proper form, 10 reps, 12 reps even at 80 kilos. And that was always my dream, obviously, being, I want to be able to bench 100 kilos, I want to get 10 reps of 100 kilos, because as you do when you're younger, obviously, I was lucky enough to work in a gym and watch everyone's technique and get the right form and did it in a safe way and got to my goal, got to where I wanted to be. And I was always on protein shakes. I was getting like these bulking powders. I was trying to hit my protein goal. And I obviously put on some muscle, but I was fairly new to exercise. So I was going to put on muscle anyway. If you're new to exercise, you're going to put on muscle without protein. If you start lifting, you've never lifted before, you will, as a byproduct of lifting weights, you're going to put on muscle, without a doubt. And I was
Sorry to interrupt.
Go on.
It's not impossible over 40, but it just gets harder with age, doesn't it?
Yeah. It would get harder with age. But even still, because your testosterone levels drop, etc. But
it still can be done.
It still can be done. If you're doing something you've never done before, your body's going to make adaptations to it. So resistance training, you'll gain muscle. So I actually thought, I'm spending 50, 60 quid a month on these protein powders, and you know, everyone's on different protein powders, and you know, I've seen some people that were training for ages and, you know, they weren't on protein powder. They said, no, I don't take anything. And they were fairly strong. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to cut this protein powder out. I'm going to stop aiming for this protein goal, which I was hitting. I'm going to see what happens to my body. So I stopped buying all these protein shakes. I was still benching 100 kilos, 12 reps, perfect form. I was still squatting really heavy, you know, 160 kilos for, say, four reps. And I was doing strength training. I was only weighing about, 80 kilos at the time. And my strength didn't dip. My size didn't shrink. So I'm hitting this protein goal each day, each week, right? And I maintained the same size, the same strength, and everything when I went off it. Now, I know Peter's big on, you know, eating the lean beef. Yeah, 100% get, you know, eat protein normally as like whole foods. But I actually will say something controversial, and I don't even believe you need to do that. Like I get in really good shape when it comes to the summer. I was on IB for last year, mate stag. I dropped 10 kilos of weight. My six pack come back. It was defined. You lose strength. You're going to lose strength. If you lose 10 kilos of body weight, like I couldn't get to my 10 reps of 100 kilos. That's another story. But yeah, I wasn't getting to a protein goal. I was eating. I was mainly just focusing on calories, and I didn't really care where the calories come from. I was trying to get more protein, and I'd have 3 eggs in the morning. I wasn't thinking, right, I need X amount of beef, X amount of chicken. I was just eating food, but keeping my calories low. I was like 1,900 calories plus running, and I got in really good shape. Muscles, the definition come back, six pack come back, and yeah, I didn't aim for a calorie goal. I aimed for a calorie goal, but not a protein goal. Yeah. So I wouldn't obsess yourself too much about it. Just lift weights. And lift weight. If you want to get in good shape, see the muscles, lift weights consistently with the right form, and have a calorie goal to get definition. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it was controversial, to be fair. I do think that the figure, as I said, the bodybuilding world has got a lot to answer for it. Because I think, do you know what? It's still very wow, the bodybuilding world, in the fact that you see big, large men who are shredded.
Neanderthals.
So it's dense. Yeah, it's dense. Yeah. It's dense muscle. So it's very. It's not something like you can't just go into it. You can't just think one day I'm going to be a bodybuilder tomorrow. You can't do it. You don't see a lot of 17, 18-year-old bodybuilders because they need a few years to get to a certain size, don't they?
Yeah.
So like within other sports, you might see someone break through at 16, 17 or something, and develop their strength after. But it's not like that. It's kind of a separate entity. Yeah. The fact that they need to have a period of a few years to get that bulk on, to get that size.
Well,
and also they don't look that shredded out of comp.
Yeah.
So they look slightly different. But that whole protein figure, the 2.2 per pound. Or whatever you don't need it. You generally don't need it. And also, I don't know if a lot of people are aware, but when you have a post shake of whatever it is, 30 or 40 grams of protein, that's not 30 or 40 grams of protein going to your muscle. Your body, your DNA, your hormones will dictate how that gets split. Protein gets split around your body to various parts, your skin, your hair, all sorts of things. That doesn't directly go to all the muscles that you need it. So, like yourself, I don't think the numbers are anywhere near what they really need to be. I went vegetarian, didn't I, for a few years.
Right.
I lost quite a bit of size, but that's because, do you know what? You have to, I think if you drop meat and stuff, you have to prepare and be more prepared with your food to get everything in. And I was renovating in the house at the time, so I was eating a lot of crap. So I did lose a little bit of weight. But the strength, as you said, the strength never really changed.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting any quality proteins in. I was still eating eggs. That was the only thing I was still eating. But I think you can get quality protein in without having to go over silly numbers. If you go back to 3 or 4 square meals a day, if your plate looks like veg, protein and carbs, you're pretty much going to hit your number. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
you will be fine.
Yeah, if your goals may not be to get shredded, it might just be to get stronger and gain size. If you want size, you can eat shit. You can literally eat donuts, loads of potatoes, eat nonsense, and then the strongest I'd ever been was after I come back from an all-inclusive in Mexico.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I was eating absolute nonsense. I was having 3 courses for breakfast, 2 boxes of cereal, a waffle with syrup and pineapple, and eggs, like 3 eggs with potatoes, gratin. It was lovely. That was breakfast.
Making me hungry, mate.
Lunch, I was eating massive burrito. For starters, I was having big plate of nachos, and I was having a burrito and chips, and then finished, I was having hot wings. I was eating like that every day, and dinner was the same. It was outrageous. Come back, I'd not trained in 2 weeks. It was the strongest I'd ever been, and I hadn't been hitting a protein goal. I hadn't been eating clean. I didn't been eating loads, calorie surplus, and that's what your muscles need. It needs calories to.
Yeah. Well, there is a word going around called clean bulk, which does make me chuckle, because I don't think there's such thing. You can't. Yeah. I don't think you can get 6,000 calories from eating clean food.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
By the way, Coke Zero is not clean. Let me just tell you, Coke Zero. Let's break it down. Let's make it easy, right? Clean food, another word clean, has come from the bodybuilding world. They used to use that as they trimmed down, and one of the reasons was they claim was it took out all the process. Some of the processed food used to have loads of salt in it. It still does. So when you're eating clean, your body can rid that salt and rid that water.
Right. Yeah.
So let me make it the way I look at it. Right, clean food is usually in a clean/clear packaging, except for tinned fish. Okay, so put tuna aside and smoked salmon or mackerels on the side for a minute. Everything else should be clear. Let me give you an example. Fruit. So all the fruit that you normally buy is in clear packaging. It doesn't have any fancy marketing on it. It is what it is, all right? Vegetables. So you walk past the broccoli, the potatoes, the sweet potatoes, whatever it may be. Doesn't have any packaging on it. Might be in a clear sack or clear bag, right? The meats. You go down the meat aisle. So the beef, the chicken, the turkey. Generally, when you're just buying the meat, it's in clear packaging. It doesn't have any fancy labels telling you it's got 40 grams of protein or 20 grams of protein or 10 grams of fiber. Do you know why? It's because they don't have to sell themselves. Yeah, you know what's in them, and they know what's in them. Yeah, they don't have to grab you and shake you and say, hey, come and eat me because I've got 10 grams of fiber and 40 grams of protein. They don't need to. They are there. And they are usually, the fruit and veg aisles are usually at the beginning of most supermarkets. So you walk past all that and go up to a box which is brightly coloured, which has got a sticker saying 20 grams protein.
Yeah.
Cereal bar. Where's that protein come from? Yeah. How do you get 20 grams of protein in cereal?
Yeah.
Who's added that and where's it come from? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have a look at the back of the packet. It's got 89 ingredients. What? If you want the protein, go and get it. Clean, right? Packaging, generally clean food, okay? And generally, when you look at it, when you look at the pack of chicken, the pack of beef, or whatever it is, you look on the back, it should say at least 99% chicken or 99% beef. There's nothing in it. That is what it is. You know, you pick up some broccoli, what's in it? You can see through the packet, it's just broccoli. It's got nothing else in it. So when they're talking clean bulk, unless you're used to it and, you know, an accomplished older bodybuilder who's been doing it for years and your stomach can take it, taking 6,000 to 7,000 calories of clean food is a lot of food. All right, a lot of powerlifters, bodybuilders, when they're trying to bulk, have to incorporate shit food because it's calorie dense. You know, that's how you get the calories in there. They might eat majority clean, but they have to add some shit food in to bulk up the calories. So anyone who's talking clean bulk, tell them to stop talking nonsense. It doesn't exist, and if it does, I guarantee you're not doing it. Coke Zero doesn't count.
Yeah.
Cocoa Pops don't count. Rice Krispies don't count.
Like
Cereal bars. Yeah, I'm more of a Rice Krispies man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do like Rice Krispies. Mate, yeah, but that ain't clean. But I know it's not clean. But I don't pretend that it is clean. So get that down in your head first. All right, that is clean food. And if you want to get ripped or get leaner, just eating clean food will take you a long way. Okay, because you can eat a lot of it. You can eat a lot of veg. There's only potatoes, sweet potatoes, broccoli, green beans, you know, cauliflower, whatever they may be, apples, bananas, and, you know, the beef, the chicken, etc. Whatever it is, you can eat a lot of that food. It's not really been processed, hasn't really been messed about with, and it can do you'll end up being in lower calories just by eating to your full. Yeah, generally. So
there's also as well as power.
Went off on a rant.
That's right. Well, I go off on one as well. Sometimes I think, have I even answered Peter's question there?
I don't even know what the question was.
Right, gone down a wrong path.
I knew it was about nutrition. That was about it.
But no, it is. Nutrition is an important topic, and like you said, you get the power lifters that need the calorie dense food to their muscles have the energy. I was reading a book, Hard Work Pays Off, many people would have heard of this book. It's Matt Fraser. Matt Fraser. He was CrossFit champion. Now CrossFitters, they get a lot of. I've never done CrossFit in my life actually. They can't do pull-ups properly. They call them kipping pull-ups. It's retards, don't know what they're doing, but they're fit as fuck. Like these geezers are fit. Now there's a lot to be said on if they're natural or not. I don't think they're natural in the slightest. But in this book, I mean, it's mad. I'm not sure. You know, you're old school. I'm not sure. You know, the people that are older, I'm not sure get into CrossFit too much. It's more sort of a younger sort of thing. But I mean, you know, you'd probably slate me there and say, no, it's not. What do you know? Obviously not much, but yeah, CrossFit is. I mean, it's great. There's a lot to be said about the injuries that happens as well. You're doing one exercise and you're straight into another very heavy exercise, etc. I've not done it myself, but Matt Fraser. Some events in CrossFit, right? They'll show up and they don't know what the events are. Okay. And one event will be like, right, you're going to get on that rowing machine now. We're going to row a marathon, and he's on 26.2 on a concept 2 hour, bang, banging it out, and then he's.
What sort of time was that in?
I'm not sure. He'd probably do it faster than he'd run it though. Like I did a 5K on a rower, and I could do it in like under 20 minutes for a 5K on a rower. I average about 4 minutes per 1,000. But they'll say to him like, get on the rower, do a marathon, and there's all these geezers now. I've just finished a run, and now they're getting onto this rower, and they're rowing a whole marathon.
So how do you train for that? I don't know a lot of CrossFit, by the way. It was just coming in as I was in there.
Yeah. So during the off season when they're training, they're doing lots of shit. They're doing lots of rowing, lots of swimming, lots of heavy stuff like squats, lots of running.
But they can't train specifically then.
Some
events they might be able to. I'm guessing.
They'll probably.
But you don't know what event's going to come up.
They'll understand from previous years gone by what are the main events, what are the core events that come back.
Yeah.
But like to get on, and they were saying that they had to unplug all these wires because he was dripping sweat. There was floods of it. He was trying to drink loads of water and keep it going. And what's his diet going to be? Is he going to be eating broccoli and chicken? No, he's actually got his diets in the book, diet plans. And it is calorie dense. Like he eats shit.
Like Michael Phelps. He was having about 5 fry-ups a day, wasn't he?
Well, there we go. Yeah, and that's, precisely. Yeah. So elite athletes, like even like Usain Bolt said before he ran 100 meters in record time, he was just eating chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I heard about
like
that. That's a great promo from Mackie D's. They must have loved that.
Yeah. So you can if you're working out really hard. Now this doesn't go for if you're over the age of 40 and you go in gym first time. You can start eating loads of shit because it won't work. But if you're an athlete and you're training for something that's, you know, heavy, high endurance, then your body needs those extra calories to perform. Right. One more thing, Lucozade sports drinks. Like, don't drink them; they're full of sugar. Football players drink them, and you think these football players are really lean and are in great shape. They're drinking
because
Lucozade.
They're sponsored.
Yeah, because they're sponsored as well.
Exactly like protein powders, mate. You see loads of people promoting protein powders. They don't actually take them themselves, but they've got the branding. They need to do a certain amount of shows. There's that one with, was it Michael Owen? He had to pick up the Lucozade sport bottle. This is years ago, 98 maybe. He had to be seen in each interview. He had to like drink 5 times out of it. That was in his contract or something.
Bloody hell,
so
that's
they can
mad.
They can see the bottle 5 times.
So yeah, they're not for people trying to lose weight. If you go into a gym.
It's just calories you don't need.
It's calories you don't need. I'm not sure how many calories are actually in a Lucozade bottle. If it's like 100, 150, I'm not sure. But someone goes in, some woman who's just joined a gym or some bloke, a sports drink, I'll get that, bam. They probably would do well to burn off that drink that they've drunk and they've not touched the surface of whatever they're trying to achieve.
Yeah. So stay off the sports drinks as well. We were just giving them a list of things not to eat and drink, which is going to help them lose weight, though, isn't it? Because if they stop eating and drinking,
just don't eat
actually leads me nicely onto my next subject: fasting. Listen, if you're over 40 and you've got a bit of a belly and you want to get in a calorie deficit and you want to make changes straight away, one of the ones I said before was walking. We can do that straight away. You don't need any equipment. It doesn't cost you. Just go out the door, start walking. Another one that you can start doing straight away to reduce your calories and get the weight down and get yourself leaner is fasting. There are people out there who knock fasting, and I feel like they knock it because they haven't tried and found the right formula for them. Okay, so you can play about the formula. It's supposed to be liberating. If you find it restricting, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, if you find yourself looking at the phone and saying, well, I've got 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute till I can eat, you're doing it wrong. You've also got to remember, we as humans can go for long periods without food, okay? If we couldn't, we would have been extinct a long time ago. We can go weeks without food. It's not a problem. So when you feel hungry, that's not your body telling you that you need food. That's the rhythm in part of the circadian rhythm that you've set your body. So if you eat breakfast every day at 9 a.m. all the time, and one day you miss it, about 10 a.m. you're going to get a little knock on your head saying, oi, where's my food? That's not your body saying that I need it to continue with the day. That's your body saying, listen, you usually give me food about 9 a.m. It's now 10, I've had nothing. That's all it is. And you can get over those kind of hunger pangs within 2 weeks. But I think it's, especially as you're getting older, because the research, the stuff it does for you, the really good stuff it does for you, including the autophagy, it does for you, for your insides, your health, you're giving the digestive system a massive break. Yeah, you're starting to go into hunter-gatherer mode as well. So your focus is huge. If you've not done it when you've trained, I wouldn't really advise go and do weight training fasted, because I think you need some calories in there, you need some food in there if you're going to be lifting heavy weights. But if you've not done cardio or sort of a circuit fasted, try it. It is better than any pre-workout you can get out there. The focus is unreal. And you can last. Don't worry about, you're going to faint, you're going to do all that sort of stuff. You'll be fine. Just take some water, a pinch of salt in there if you need, and you'll be good to go. But it's a win-win, because especially as we get older, as I talk about, people don't want to make big changes straight away, and it's all about doing stuff that you can sustain. So why not start fasting? So you've reduced the window where you can eat. So that means hopefully you're going to reduce the calories you can eat straight away, but without restricting anything initially. Okay, so initially you can say, eat what you're eating, but all I'm going to do is take one of them meals out. So you're only having 2 meals a day. So you're eating with a 6-hour window, say. So now straight away you're in a deficit without you knowing, because you're not giving up your food that you like.
Yeah.
And then you're walking as well, which is going to help you, keep your metabolism up faster, keep it burning the food, and you're going to stay in that deficit, hopefully shift some fat. And then slowly within that, you can start toning down on your food. So you can say, listen, all right, I'm having a pint every night. I'm going to knock that back and just have it on a Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Or I'm eating quite a lot of sugar. I like my chocolate bars every day. I'm going to cut that down and maybe only have that 2-3 days a week. You can start homing down on the food, but you've already got to a period where you can sustain stuff and you feel better, you feel leaner. And you don't have to do it every day. If you only want to do it Monday to Friday because it's easier with your work, then do it Monday to Friday. If it's easier, do it on the weekend, do it on the weekend. It really helped me when I had my firstborn, because I didn't worry about food at all. I could just spend that time with my little one, doing whatever he wanted to do, go for walks, go to the play centres, the soft play, whatever it is, without worrying about food. Remember, you can have black coffee, black tea and green tea. As soon as you put milk in it, though, it will break your fast, so stay away from milk or anything like that. And sugar, obviously. But yeah, it's really liberating. Again, if you've got a family and you want to have days where you want to go for ice cream or eat breakfast or take them out for breakfast, don't fast that day. It's not a problem. It's not the end of the world. It's supposed to work around you, and you make it work around you. So there's so many parts to it and how different you can do it. Various ways you can do it. It can work for you. Just give it a go straight away. So again, it's free. You can start doing it today. Miss breakfast tomorrow morning or miss dinner tonight. Straight away, you've got a 6-hour window. You've gone into a calorie deficit. I would say sometimes, if you can, these things are free. If you can get I bought one of them Fitbits secondhand on eBay for 20 quid, just because I don't want to spend a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money to spend on these sort of gadgets. I'd rather spend it on the kids. But £20 secondhand, it was only a little thin one, and all I wanted was the average daily expenditure calories. That's all I was interested in, and the steps.
Right. Yeah.
And I know your phone does the steps when it's in your pocket, but this one was a bit more precise.
Right, yeah.
So I bought £20 for 2 things, and it's brilliant. So you put it on, and once you've done your 10, 12k steps, you're done for the day. You can tick that off, and especially if you've got a dog of any sorts and you take him out for walks, easy done. You'll probably hit 10, 12k without even knowing it. If you sit in an office all day or working at home on your own in front of the laptop, you might find it more difficult, but it'll give you nudges. You can get nudges every hour to go and move for 10 minutes, go and have a walk. And then as soon as you're done at home on the laptop, you can go off. Go and get a walk in. Again, you don't need to pay for gym membership. It's free. And also, you can get a gauge of your roughly daily calorie expenditure. I don't think these things are that accurate, but they give you a gauge, and that's all you want. So if you know that you're expending 2,400 calories a day, you can eat 2,000. No big deal. So you squash that into 2 meals. You're fasting as well. You're doing bits, that are really good for your insides. Win-win. Healthier, leaner, fitter, more active, injury-free because you're only walking. Maybe doing, going to some maybe body weight circuits. What do you think? You still with me?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, I actually tried. I was doing intermittent fasting last July, but it didn't work too well on me because I ended up not being able to shit. I was constipated as fuck. Went like, I don't know, 3 days. Now
There's no giving all the positives.
Everyone's different.
Everything
Now, no, intermittent fasting 100% can work because you're skipping a meal. So those calories that you were consuming. One thing you want to beat though, because I got really hungry when I was doing it. But again, like Peter said, you're getting really hungry, but your body doesn't need it. You can go days and days and days without eating. You can it's just
black tea and black coffee would do well to satiate that. So when you get them hunger pangs, have that. It just takes that away. Just gives that little full feeling.
I was fine. I mean, I was fine with the hunger. I'd just be hungry. I mean, losing weight, dieting, there is going to be hunger involved, and you are going to have to drink black tea or use these other sort of strategies to sort of pass the sort of the feeling of hunger. But just be hungry. We live in the 21st century. You're never going to starve. Only thing is, sometimes it might play with your mood a bit, but that's intermittent fasting or not intermittent fasting. If you cut your calories anyway, you're gonna get hungry. If you're usually consuming 4,000, you're now consuming 2,000. You can be like, oh god, I'm hungry. Thing with intermittent fasting is it's great for you skipping a meal, but the only thing is if you're really hungry and at lunchtime, make sure you don't overindulge at lunch and then smash what would have been your morning's calories on top of your lunchtime calories because you've been so hungry. You're like, okay, I'm ravenous. I'm gonna consume everything because then you've been starving yourself or cutting those calories for no reason because you've gone and eaten a lot more at lunchtime.
A little bit of control.
Yeah, got to have control. And if you're dieting, you're gonna be hungry. Realistically, you're gonna be hungry, and just deal with it. Eventually your body will adapt, and that hunger will get less and less. Your body will adapt 100%. Now, you hear about intuitive eating as well, which is sort of the same as fasting. Because if you think now intuitive eating, people think that's shit, and it is shit. Because someone goes, "Oh, I'm hungry. I want a snack. I'm gonna eat. I only use intuitive eating on the other side because the other day I'd eaten a big breakfast and a big lunch. It got to dinner time. My missus went out. I put the kids to bed. I thought, right, what do I want for dinner? And I thought, I'm not actually hungry. I want to have dinner because it's in my body clock. It's in my routine. I'm going to order something. I'm going to do something. I thought, do you know what? I'm just not going to have dinner. And then I saved about 1,000 calories on dinner. I just went to bed. I woke up in the morning probably a little bit hungrier than usual. But, it was fine. I just thought, I don't need to eat. You don't need to eat 3 times per day. You can skip a meal out and you're going to be saving loads of calories. So 100%, it's definitely something that should be tried. Try skipping out, see if you can do it.
100%. Try it and try different variations of it to find the one that fits you. I found that it didn't really 16/8, so 16 hours of not eating and 8, I didn't really do anything for me. And it was only when I went down to 18 or 20 hours of not eating, that was a sweet spot for me. That was really good.
Okay,
but I was only doing it twice a week. So again, don't have to do it all the time.
Yeah.
But it felt nice. Gave my tummy a break, my digestive system a break. Because sometimes when you're going through like Christmas, you're pounding your body. So during December, I was doing a minimum 2 days a week fasting. And that's because I was shoving loads of food, loads of heavy calorific food, if you like. The mince pies, the custard, all that kind of thing. And I generally don't have a sweet tooth, but for December, it's kind of game on. It's open season on anything. But with the fasting, also remember, the longer you do it, the more you stick at it, your stomach does shrink a little bit.
100%.
Yeah, so when you
100%.
go through periods of 16 or 18 hours not eating, a couple of days a week, the meals that you do have to break the fast, you won't need massive meals because you won't be able to take it because your stomach shrunk. Also, the digestive enzymes in your tummy have not been working, for 16 or 18 hours. So don't go and have a huge meal because it will just bloat you. Okay, so just before you're about to have your meal, maybe 15, 20 minutes, have something light. So maybe like half an apple or banana, just to wake your enzymes up and say, hey, listen, there's a meal coming soon. You boys might need to wake up. You've got some work coming. So try that trick. But generally, there's a lot of positives to fasting. Just find that niche. Just find that niche for you. And as we get older, it's another thing we skipped onto nutrition. I forgot to ask when we were talking about workouts. I've got a mind blank now.
That's right.
I was literally about to say, so there's a lot of things about cardio on a fasting stomach, etc. And there's a lot of people out there saying you've got to do it fasted, you've got to do it at this time. Listen, do your walking or your workout when you can do your workout, okay? If I tell you, he tells you to do it at 6 a.m. and you're not a morning person, you ain't going to sustain it.
Yeah,
you ain't going to keep it. If you prefer to do things in the evening, if that's when you sit down on your phone scrolling, do it in the evening. You know, do it at a time where you know you can do it regularly, not when someone tells you to do it. Make it fit in with you. There's more chance of you sticking at it.
100%, yeah. As Peter said, just to add in as well, yeah, your stomach will shrink over time doing it. I remember when I was having a cheat meal, when I was heavily...
what was the cheat meal? You might as well tell us now.
I think I went to Poor Boys in Kingston, which
stop there.
If you haven't been, it's outrageous. And I just couldn't eat. I mean, it was so calorie dense. I was like, I've just hit a wall immediately, which is a good thing. I felt full.
Yeah.
But yeah, your stomach will 100% shrink.
Sometimes also, you want, especially if you've got a sweet tooth, and I generally don't, as I said, but come Christmas time I do. For some reason, the floodgates open. But my missus has. And sometimes you don't want it, but your brain almost wants that flavour or texture in the mouth.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll have a little bit of, like, tiniest bit of chocolate, and you don't need the whole bar, because it's just a sensation thing.
Yeah.
So try those techniques. If you're someone who needs to have a chocolate bar every day, or you smash loads of chocolate or ice cream in the evening, try just having a little bit of it, a tiny bit of it, and putting it back and see what happens. See if
100%.
the craving's still there. The craving might go away. You'd be surprised.
Every night when I was dieting, I was hitting 2,000 calories. Even if I'd go out for a run in the afternoon, and I think, I've burnt 500 calories, I wouldn't say to myself, I'm going to put 500 calories on top and have 2,500 calories that day. Because I know without doing that, I was accelerating my weight loss journey a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But I would still factor in a packet of salt and vinegar squares in the evening and a Caramac bar to dip into my cup of tea and let it go soggy and eat that.
Delights.
The little delights. Pack of salt and vinegar squares, a chocolate bar, my cup of tea in the evening. I would know that's what I'm going to have. Because you can eat whatever you want as long as it's within your calorie goals.
Yeah. 100%. That's why I think fasting's so good for someone trying to lose that belly or trying to lose the weight, because they don't have to give up the things they like.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You can have the restriction, you can have the time restriction, but we're not restricting you on food. That can come later as you get a bit leaner and you feel better amongst yourself. I think it's a catch. It's almost like a domino effect, really. A lot of people, like that lad I was speaking to last week, who's very, very confused, was talking about, do I cut first, do I lean, etc. And I said, what have you been doing lately? And he said, I haven't trained for 3 months. And I was like, mate, just go and do anything. Just go and get out. Because as soon as when you get sluggish and you feel heavy, if you just get out and do whatever you want to do, like a run or a jog or a little circuit or whatever it may be, a walk, you'll find that as over time the endorphins get released after each workout, you'll feel better. And then you'll know what you want, because you've already got a foundation and you've already proved to yourself that you can get out of the house 3 days a week to do something.
Yeah.
So now you feel better. Now you feel like I can commit to a workout. I can commit to a gym. Whatever I want to do, I can commit to going to the park and doing this, that and the other. And I've been doing it. And already you feel better within yourself because you've been training, you've been running, walking, whatever it may be. And you feel a bit lighter on your feet. So just start. I know our brain will just put obstacles in the way of reasons why you can't start straight away. There are no reasons. Whatever reason you're going to give me, I'm going to go around it and tell you can still do it. That's it. You can. There'll be time.
Yeah.
If it means getting up half an hour earlier, if it means doing something when everyone's gone to bed, when the kids have gone to bed, then, it's half an hour. It's not a massive chunk out your day. And you're making positive changes for yourself, not only physically and through health, but also in your mind as well. You're keeping yourself focused, making yourself feel better. And that hopefully is going to put you in a better chance
Sustainability.
Of sustainability and vitality. Do you find, last thing, I was talking about workouts and when I used to obviously PT and coach, but most people fell into 4 categories. So the first one was aesthetics. All they were interested in was aesthetics and the way they looked. And generally now that comes to, I think, probably the lads under 30. That's all they're interested in. If I told them to eat, 8 hot cross buns a day, they'd do it. If that's what it took to look that way. They're not interested in health. The second subject, the second category of people was the health and vitality and longevity.
Yeah.
The third category was sports specific. A lot when you're younger, people playing semi-pro football, etc., other sport.
Yeah.
Seems to die out a little bit as we get older.
Yeah.
But probably is more important to stay injury free with that one as you get older. And the last one was powerlifting and bodybuilding, which I feel is like a separate subject in itself. And if you want to get into it, either of those two, you're better off getting a specific coach for them ones.
Yeah.
But with I've noticed that as I got older and the people around me have got older, I feel like and I speak to older people as well in their 50s and 60s, they've kind of shifted from wanting to look a certain way to health and longevity now.
Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of people eat differently, and because they want to have that time with the kids, they want to be able to run about. They've seen what they've been doing to their body for the last 20 years, and they don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. So there is the aspect for me still of looking good. Because, when far down the line, when my boys are looking back at photos of me and them, and they're like, fucking hell, look at dad, he's in great shape. Look at the state of him.
Bit of motivation for them.
Bit of motivation, yeah. Well, I want to look like my dad when I'm that age. I want to look like my dad. Oh, how do you do that? Oh, you've got to exercise, you've got to do that. So set an example. But I would say 100% the most important thing, I mean, if you're training hard, doing this and the other, and you're picking up all these injuries, it's stopping you from getting up and down the floor of your kids and walking around and being active. 100% it's got to be the activity level, the mobility level trumps everything, because you want to prolong a better standard of living, so that comes first 100%, and then as a byproduct of that, if you're eating right, you'll still look good. So I
was going to say, I'll probably a little bit further down the line with you, being 44, but I'm definitely fully within the health, well-being and vitality.
But you look good.
But so. I think that's a byproduct of what I do now. But I think I've looked better in the past, but I actually don't think I've felt better.
Right, okay, there we go.
So now I feel better. Maybe that comes across. I'm doing the arse baths at the moment, as Carl well knows. I will dunk him in there at some point. But they really help. They really help the mind. Yeah. My mind anyway. I can't stop yapping on about them just because I think they've helped me so much. I'd love people to just try them, because I think they can really help you, especially if you're going through some shit in your head and you're struggling with a difficult time, whatever that may be. I think it can be a nice distraction, and also the release of the dopamine, etc., could just help you get on a little bit more of a positive.
Yeah,
maybe help you seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And we know when you're at rock bottom, there's only one way up. Yeah. So, use anything that you can find to help yourself, get yourself back up.
He's not a fair weather ice bather either. Like, he sent me videos, it's been -5 outside this week, and he's been outside at 6 a.m. getting into these ice baths. And that's mentality for you. That's strong mentality, doing something you don't really want to do, but it's going to benefit you. And that's the same at ice baths, going to the gym. I don't really want to go to the gym, but I know, like, keeping my legs strong, keeping mobile, it's going to benefit me. Yeah. But I think I'd rather the gym than the ice baths, to be fair. But you're doing.
I will get him in there.
You're doing really well there. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you for Carl for coming on today. But I'm going to finish with one last thing, and this is kind of not related. But I know Carl knows who I'm going to talk about, so I'm going to have a little chat with him, and I'll keep the film rolling. And if it ain't interesting, then I'll cut it off, and we'll see you guys later. And if I do cut it off now, thank you very much for joining us. I'll see you next time, and thank you for Carl for coming in.